What's going on, Knicks fans? Welcome to another edition of Knicks Latest. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're bringing you Knicks rumors, headlines, trade proposals, everything about the New York Knicks heading into the most anticipated Knicks season in the past 25 years or so. This is a year where the Knicks are going to be expected to make the NBA Finals. Not just contend for the NBA Finals, expected to make the NBA Finals. We want as many Knicks fans as possible subscribe to this channel, discussing with each other, debating with each other. I do use your YouTube comments for content as well. Not in this episode, but other episodes, I do bring up your comments, answer your questions, talk to you, all that good stuff. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you like the video, make sure you drop a comment below. I might use it for a future video. Let's get into it. An article ranking the off seasons for all 30 NBA teams has come out. Actually, they haven't released the top 10 yet, but the Knicks had been listed. They come in at number 15 in the Athletics off-season rank. I see a lot of Knicks fans kind of frustrated or disappointed in the ranking, thinking that maybe they kind of are a little low on the list, but I disagree with that. I think this is where the Knicks should be. Being 15th in the offseason, for the offseason they had, getting Jordan Clarkson, Gershon Yabusele. They didn't really have a draft at all to acquire any body worth of significance. No offense to, Diawara and all the players they have coming in through the system. But let's be honest. You get Clarkson, nice piece off the bench. Yabusele, nice piece off the bench. Aside from that, you really didn't change anything with the DNA of your team. And they didn't have to. So, this ranking doesn't really mean anything. Just because you're 15th in the offseason doesn't mean that you're a 15th best team in the league. I think a lot of Knicks fans who are upset about this. I saw an article saying the Knicks got robbed, or the Knicks, they were being undercut or undersold is silly to me. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to win the offseason. You want to win the NBA Finals. The Knicks didn't have much to add. Of course they're not going to rank first. We don't have to be Houston and go out and get a Kevin Durant. We don't have to be Atlanta and go out and get Kristaps Porzingis. They're going to have better offseasons than us because they have to acquire more. That's the way I look at it. For any Knicks fan who feels kind of shortchanged by the ranking, it's not that serious. That's something that I've been reading. I saw a couple tweets read an article about, wanted to address that because to me, I think it's silly getting worked up over something like that. It is what it is. It's an off-season ranking of how you did, and I don't think the Knicks could have been in the top 10 considering they didn't need to add anybody worth of significance. They weren't looking for a new starter, period. You know what this core is. You needed bench pieces. You needed some fringe rotation pieces. It's not that serious. So Knicks coming in at 15th. I don't even know who was before them. Don't need to see who was before them. They haven't come out with the top 10. So for me, it's one of those things where, it's August. We're all searching for content. We want things to talk about. You see on this channel, we do trade proposals. I've talked about Karl-Anthony Towns going to Milwaukee for Giannis 20 times. There was another article today about that. Not doing that again. Y'all get the point. Giannis to New York is a big deal. But how many times can you do the same thing over and over and over again? And I just think that what Athletics doing right now, I think it's a creative way, to do content and to create, I wouldn't say narratives, but to create stories and create discussion. I'm all for it. Knicks fans, you shouldn't be mad at it. I think it's an accurate ranking, and I don't think it matters at all, to be honest with you, because they didn't have much to do. So Knicks coming in at 15th for the Athletics offseason ranking, it sounds good to me. Now, I do want to revisit this because SNY is revisiting this as well. David Würzberger saying that the Knicks should get Malcolm Brogdon, or at least be looking to get him. Now, I could have pulled a couple comments from the YouTube channel, a couple comments from previous episodes saying that the Knicks need a backup point guard or another ball handler off the bench, just in case something happens with Jalen Brunson, or just a playmaker in general, because the bench is missing that. There was a long comment on the YouTube page yesterday. Maybe I'll pull it for another episode. But one solution here, who I think I kind of forgot about when I'm discussing, who the Knicks should get with this final roster spot or two, is Malcolm Brogdon. Now, he has been injured, but he has been efficient every time he plays. He is somebody who is very efficient, can do a lot of things on the court, can hit the three, is a veteran, can play point guard, which is the most important thing, because right now a lot of Knicks fans feel like the point guard position, the backup point guard position specifically, is a position that is the Knicks are very weak at right now. And I have been advocating for Landry Shamet. I think that is somebody who can fit what the Knicks need right now. The Knicks kind of need a 3-and-D, somebody who can guard the perimeter, somebody who can hit the three ball, somebody who can fit right into the bench, somebody who really doesn't need a lot of minutes too. Like Landry can play 10, 15 minutes a game. He might get a DNP and it's okay. So he makes a lot of sense to me, but Malcolm Brogdon also makes a lot of sense to me as well. Now, I don't know how healthy he is. I don't know what his role is going to be. If the Knicks sign Malcolm, is he going to take the place of a Deuce McBride or a Jordan Clarkson? Probably not. But if someone like Jalen Brunson goes down, would you prefer a Malcolm Brogdon over Tyler Kolek? I don't know. I don't think it's crazy to say that, considering that Malcolm has actually shown what he can be in this league. He's a former 6th Man of the Year. He's a former Rookie of the Year. With him, it's just health at this point. He has been in Portland, Washington. I think a lot of people have forgotten, who he is and what he can do, because he has been on 2 franchises that haven't got a lot of airtime on TV lately, and he's been hurt. So, a lot has been forgotten with Malcolm Brogdon, but he is somebody who, if you're going to tell me the Knicks really need a backup point guard and free agency is basically done, maybe you sign him to the vet minimum and you get minutes from Malcolm. A few YouTube commenters, people who are subscribed to the channel, have mentioned him. And I want to give y'all a shout out because I have overlooked him. And, I saw an article today that calls back to David Würzberger's article on SNY.TV saying that Malcolm Brogdon should be an option. And I absolutely agree with that. The other option would be a Tyler Kolek, who was on Ian Begley's The Putback show the other day saying how he wants a bigger role. And if you don't watch this channel, you don't know, but I am a huge Tyler Kolek fan. I've been watching him since his college days at Marquette. To me, he is the only natural pass-first playmaker on this team. It is his 2nd year. He did struggle in his first 2 summer league games, which I think put a bad taste in a lot of Knicks fans' mouths because, when you go into summer league as a sophomore, you're expected to dominate. You're expected to have some type of professionalism where it's like, I'm here. These young cats, they're just not going to get to me. And the first 2 games, he struggled big time, but he came along in the next 2 games huge. I mean, he was unstoppable from 3, hitting threes, making plays, and that was the Tyler Kolek that I wanted to see from the beginning and that I think the Knicks can get. He's somebody who knows how to pass the ball, looks to pass first, gets to spots. He's a very unique player on the roster because I do think I wouldn't say he's the best playmaker. Yeah, Jalen Brunson, somebody who is a top 10 player in the league in my opinion, but somebody like Tyler Kolek doesn't really exist a lot in this league anymore. I'm talking about a pass-first point guard who looks to advance the ball and whose job is to specifically set people up. And we saw him do that last year when JB went down, when Deuce was hurt, and Kolek was forced to play some minutes last year, him and DeLon Wright. And that was his rookie season. I'm not opposed to going into next year with Tyler Kolek being our backup point guard if we need to play him a couple minutes here and there, or if he needs to be thrust into a bigger role. Now, I'm not saying he can replace an injured Jalen Brunson. Nobody can replace an injured Jalen Brunson. But if he has to come off the bench 10, 15 for Deuce or Jordan Clarkson if they're injured or something like that, I'm not worried about Tyler. I know a lot of Knicks fans are. I understand why. Another concern there would be defensively. He needs to get better defensively, and I understand that. But I do think he is capable to handle that position on the offensive end. I really do. I don't think the Knicks should be really worried about that. I don't think it should be that big of a priority. Now, again, if you're going to tell me Malcolm Brogdon is willing to come to the New York Knicks and sign a contract and understand that Deuce McBride and Jordan Clarkson are there in the backcourt as well, there might be some nights where he doesn't play. That's fine by me, but I'm cool with Tyler. I really am. I have no hesitation putting him out there on the court right now to give me 10, 15 minutes a game. I don't. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you would rather Malcolm Brogdon. Let me know if you would rather Tyler Kolek being the backup point guard. If you think the backup point guard position is actually a position the Knicks need to address. On top of that, let me know if you think Landry Shamet is the player the Knicks should be going after. It seems like I just read an article that the Knicks are closer and closer to signing him. Something came out a couple hours ago that on Heavy.com that Ben Simmons doesn't seem likely to sign with the New York Knicks. I don't know how accurate that is as well, but I do think right now we come down to the point where it's probably Landry Shamet. They just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Thomas Bryant's an interesting option, but I don't know who it's going to be. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, drop a comment in the comment section below. Tomorrow's Friday. Going to try to get 3 comments to respond to. So if you have a question about the Knicks, if you have a question about my opinion on anything, or you just have a comment in general, make sure you drop it in the comment section below. And I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of Knicks Latest. Peace.